Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm a few minutes late, but we're gonna make this thing happen. Because I do have a client this morning. So today, hopefully in a few minutes, my boy Rob Naylor is going to join me. So until then, I'm gonna do a monologue. But we are going to start off with the quote of the day, which is, you can do very little with faith, but you can do nothing without it. That is by Samuel Butler. Also, as today is March 18th, it is my second son's birthday. He is 19 years old, so a happy birthday to my son. Y'all didn't think that I had this many kids if y'all ain't been following me like that. But yeah, so my second baby, he is 19 years old today. So to get us started, I want to let you all know that the intention for today is, number one, yes, I'm going to rant. I'm gonna be ranting, but it's going to be tied into a couple of different things. So I've done a few different videos in where I spoke about Dr. Umar Johnson, but not even specifically him. It's been about things people have said about him and opinions that they have had. And if you know me and my channel very well, I am still trying to keep in mind that as a social worker, it is for me to educate you all. So that's what I do. And I'm about accepting a person as they are and where they are. So those have been the points of my videos, and I don't like tearing people down. And I still will admit, like, how I was in my early days, and sometimes how I will still get if you catch me in the right moment. But as I was driving today, and if y'all watch my channel enough, y'all also know that when I'm driving, that is when I really get irritated. I get really irritated, and I have to come back home and I have to decompress so that I could be in the right headspace to work with my clients. So good morning to my other son. Good morning. Y'all from the DMV, y'all know, like y'all already know what's up. But for me as an outsider, I'm gonna make it clear to y'all so that y'all know, so y'all know yourselves. Maryland drivers, y'all speed. Y'all crazy. Y'all speed for absolutely no good doggone reason. Y'all speed. Virginia drivers, y'all, I don't know what the heck y'all be doing. Sometimes y'all drive fast. Sometimes y'all drive slow. I don't know what y'all be doing. But Maryland, I see y'all turning left on the red. And then y'all always are in a turning lane and then jump over in front of somebody because you actually want to go straight. Why are you over there? That's only a part of my rant. So before I really get going into it, because I need y'all to know that it all ties in together with the message that Dr. Umar Johnson and others have tried to get us. So my boy Rob, although his camera is gone, I don't know what happened, but he is here. Let's see if it brings him in. You pause. And before he speaks, so to the person who commented on the video, I did see that I have 170 subscribers now. So thank you all. Thank you all. But I'm trying to make it clear that whoever that 170th person is, you need to have a public profile, because then YouTube is going to send me an email letting me know that you have subscribed. So I cannot give you anything free from my boy Rob Naylor when I don't know that was you. Just because you commented on my video and told me it was you, I need an email from YouTube that tells me said person subscribed to my channel. So that's how this thing is gonna work. I'm not saying that anybody be lying. I don't know y'all like that. But whoever it is, I need you to have a public YouTube profile so that I can get an email, so that I can tell Rob this particular person is going to get such and such for free. So that's how this thing works out for anybody who is watching this later on. That person who commented, I see I still have 170, but I still do not have an email from YouTube. So with that being said, the next person who I get an email from YouTube that says you subscribed from my channel, I am going to work with Rob and get you something free from his site. No, you're not going to get the most expensive thing on his site. It's going to be one of the candle warmers or an air scent thing, but we're going to get to that later. All right, Rob, what's up?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Y'all, he claiming he
Okay.
busy because he at work. He at work, y'all.
Sometimes I gotta do other, but I just had to make sure because these AirPods don't want to work all the time. So,
Yeah,
but what's
yeah,
going on? I love that shirt.
yeah. Thanks. I'm trying to get my little professional look on sometimes. People be seeing me with all
Hey,
kind of shirts on, in their session. Then you know who I am.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, Rob.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, because if I get talking, then I'm gonna be late, and then I ain't gonna look good.
Okay.
I'm gonna be eating. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna be eating. Y'all don't have to excuse me because I still gotta eat. So, if y'all watched the last military panel that we had, at the end of that conversation, me, Rob, and my husband had a conversation,
Hmm.
and it included holding Dr. Umar Johnson accountable because he's been taking people's money, but yet this school has not been built yet. And I actually wrote a note too for you. And so
Yeah.
Rob has personally met him. I have not. I have virtually been in a social worker conference with him. And so my opinions are really just based professionally in the mental health sphere. And
Yeah.
then I did some more videos, but the videos were based upon other videos that people have sent me. And in my opinion, all of these other videos have been attacking him personally. That's what I have been seeing. So Rob has finally come back. And so we gonna kind of have this here dialogue about this. So go ahead, Rob. You got it.
Okay. So I know for me personally, yeah, I've met him. I've interacted with him, but I don't know him on a personal level. So like for me, I would never attack him on a personal level because before I even had my interaction with him, I didn't know much about him except for what most people probably know, like probably your knowledge base of him or somebody else's. Like I didn't give a lot of energy to it because I just saw him on Breakfast Club or whatever, right? And then I would take anything that he said, and if I agree with it, I agree with it. If I don't, I don't. That's what most people do anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like I crack an occasional joke on him, right? Because like many people, if you so I'm gonna preface this by saying this. In my opinion, anybody who claims to care about the community and people, right? It's hard to support somebody like him if you truly care about the community. And I say that because one of the biggest resources or even lack thereof that we have in our community is finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're taking money from people, how are you helping the community if you're taking money from the people? So that's what my stance is if he wasn't taking money from the people and if this was just his personal labor of love, when I wouldn't have a word to say about him. I wouldn't care. Because
Mm-hmm.
whether or not you open a school at that point with your personal money, that's on you. Who cares? So I think that's most people's gripe with him. And anybody with a modicum of business acumen and common sense can look at the project itself and see that it can't work in the way that he's trying to make it work. It's just an idea and it speaks to people's emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And when you plan on people's emotions to get their money, I don't care because if he wasn't skin folk talking that cute talk that we like, we would attack him because you're taking from the community, you're taking from the money, the resources that we need. But because he says things that we like, we give him a pass. And I say we loosely. I mean, a lot of people give him a pass because what they do is they cherry pick and say, oh, but he said this that I like, so I'm gonna give him a pass for taking the money from people. Oh, he says this that I like, so I'm gonna give him a pass. Nobody should get a pass. Everybody should be held accountable. I don't care what color. I don't care. None of that matters. He should be held accountable. So like when you say people are attacking him, it's personal. Well, look at the man himself. He attacks people all the time. So energy is reciprocal. So he brings that energy to himself. And I think a lot of people's and like respectfully, I'm just saying like people like you and some people their knowledge base of him is limited to what you like to see of him. And you may have seen one or two things that you don't like, but you give him a pass for it. But if you look at the holistic man and what he does, the energy that he's getting is energy that he brought on himself, all of it. And and I know I'm on a long dialogue, but um, the personal attacks that you say, right? And first of all, I think that was a great dialogue, great show that you and Amir had. Y'all hit a lot of good points on that last episode. Um, but I thought about it. I was like, so for Umar, because he says things that you like and you agree with, you will listen to something that he says that you agree with and you like, and you'll dismiss everything else. But for Lynn and Honor, you'll hear one thing that you don't like and dismiss everything else. And the reason I was saying to do further research is because if you look at the why Lennon has gone on this long thing of all these videos that you talked about that he has on Umar, is because when he initially critiqued Umar took the immature route, obviously, like he often does, and he attacked that man personally, made up lies on that man, tried to sick his followers on that man, put his family's information out there, did all type of lied on him, all type of stuff. So he attacked him personally, and at that point, that's when Lennon was like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna make it my personal mission to keep you accountable and expose the things about you, right? And I don't know if you know this, but he's putting a documentary together on him. That's why he's gathering all this stuff, and he uses Umar's own videos. So every time Umar drops a video, that's what he's critiquing. So that's why you see so many videos. He's critiquing Umar's literal video, and he's not attacking him. If you look at it, he's very fair with him. He doesn't let people attack him a lot of times. He's like, hey, I'm being fair with Umar, but he'll hold him accountable at the same time. So he's using his own words against them, not making up nothing, none of that stuff. It's just facts and words. So if he's talking about his mom, it's because he's introducing that as part of his family dynamic and trying to understand like why Umar is the way that he is. Because Umar got about 100 faces. I don't know if you know that, but
I have seen like two or three. I've seen them.
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm saying. So like he's just exploring those different things, and he even goes as far as to say like, I'm not telling you not to donate. If you want to donate, that's your business. But I'm just giving you the information so you have, just like me, like I didn't have all the information initially before I went out there to the abandoned buildings that he called a school, right? To do the
Mm-hmm.
for the block party. I didn't have all the information. So in my mind, I'm thinking he's an upstanding guy. Because even when I got done with it, I thought he was an upstanding guy until I knew the backstory of it all. So in order to help people make an informed decision, I think it's important to have that information. Now, after you get that information, if you still want to support them, because I'm even the same way. If you want to support them. I don't care. But as long as you have the information, important thing, I
Mm.
yield.
Government building trying to mess you up, huh? Okay. So you said if he wasn't scamful, we would give him a pad. You said we would attack him or we would not if he wasn't
I don't think
scamful.
I don't think he would get the same pass. Like I don't think we
Oh,
would give
same
him.
pass.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
so
think we
that's
would.
not true because the other person who you likened him to, Donald Trump, he ain't nowhere near scamful, and this man is getting mad passes by both us and his own people. And so the bigger point on what me and Amira was trying to say is at what point do we stick by our people? We don't. We let everything or one thing, what was we start canceling people. We cancel them, we dismiss them, all this stuff. But You, as you said, Donald Trump and Umar, they're the same. His people have not abandoned. They have not abandoned him. They are sticking to his agenda. Way back when he was in New York, they stuck with his agenda. The first presidency, and even though he published, oh, I can't talk about your president in front of them peoples. That guy, even though he published what he was going to do, they still stuck by him. And he's doing what he said he was going to do, and they still sticking by him. Umar, he said some things, right, which now makes him a public figure, which now makes him the face and the voice of some things. If he's a deadbeat dad, if he was talking about lending honor, but still, why are we not sticking by this man? Because this man's message is we need to strengthen our community and our families, and we need to take care of each other. That's the Pan-African side, right? Then the school psychology side of making sure that we protect our kids and don't just let them label our kids any such a way, because white kids and black kids misbehave in the classroom. But ours is the ones that's got ADHD and need medication. No, it's all about whatever the heck his mama doing ain't got nothing to do with that.
Real quick, let
Then
me
you
ask you a
said
question.
Lyndon Honor. Hold on, I got you. Hold on now. And then you said
Well,
Lyndon Honor is making a documentary. So if he is making a documentary, the more appropriate thing would be for him to collect what he's collected and keep it to himself until he is ready to publish this documentary. All this keep putting the stuff out, that's what I'm saying by like it's a personal attack. Was you keep dropping and leaking and dropping and leaking and dropping and leaking. Today, right now, if Umar Johnson is not bothering him, this is a personal agenda. And in the end, he's still gonna profit off of Umar Johnson. Still. So what's the point? Why are we tearing him down to make a buck? That's what we're getting at.
okay. So I don't compare him with Donald Trump. And
That was
I
the
don't,
analogy that you used to quiet me down.
no. What I'm saying is, because you got to think about it. So I look at it like this: Donald Trump is the president of the United States. There's
No,
but so much you can do. You can't cancel the president of the United States.
no, not the
Umar
cancel part.
Johnson,
When you
who
said he was a scammer, that part.
I don't think Donald Trump is a scammer. They're not in the same boat. What I'm saying is Umar is a regular dude from Philly who decided that he was gonna come up with an elaborate, like, what I'm saying is, you saying, why wouldn't you cancel the man? Separate the man from the message. If you like the message, cool. Because I don't
Hmm.
disagree with some of the messaging. But separate the man from the message. That's cool. But the danger, the part where I said it's dangerous is because anybody, if I wanted to scam people today, I could take stuff and say a bunch of truth, and then toss in some BS over here in this scam.
Mm-hmm.
But and then people would say, "Oh, but listen to the message though. Don't cancel him." No, cancel him. Take the message, because when you're not walking the walk that you talk, right? Like you mentioned, he's a deadbeat daddy, and so why would I listen to him about parenting? I'm not going to listen to somebody who wasted all their money and used it on gambled it all away and listen to them about financial literacy just because they're telling me a good message.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not listening to somebody that's 600 pounds talking to me about fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they're not walking the walk. So
Mm-hmm.
if Umar's not walking the walk and he's just talking the talk, separate the man from the message. It's easy. The problem is we fall in love with the person because he's such a great orator. Because I'll go on record to say he's a great orator. He's very intelligent. I don't think he's done by any stretch of imagination.
Mm-hmm.
I think he offers a lot of good information. But the man himself, his character, is not becoming of somebody that is worth following. And so that's why I say, like, I don't even know if I would use the word cancel because I don't really care for cancel culture, but I will say accountability culture should be
Mm-hmm.
in order. And so when somebody shows you who they are, you believe them. And so when they show you who you are and believe them, you got to leave them sometimes. So It's the same way as people did with Snoop, right? You mentioned Snoop. People were ready to cancel Snoop because of what he did. But look at all the great things Snoop has done. So do we just
Mhm.
dismiss that? Look at this great things Nelly has done. Do we dismiss that because he did something we don't like? See, we'll dismiss them in a heartbeat. But Umar, because he's such a great, charismatic, see, he has all of the tangibles of a cult leader, right? That's what cult leaders
Mhm.
do. And I'm not calling him a cult leader, but I'm saying it's in the air. I mean, if you want to put it there, you can. If not, cool. But when you get people on your side emotionally, it's hard for them to just leave you alone. And that's what he's mastered. He mastered the art of that. He's a likable guy. I get it. And like he'll say that black no, notice this. Notice how he comes up with all these cute little quips, right? Why do you think he does that? Because he wants to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
Black black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Cool. All right. But what I'm saying is, and I'm not like I said, I'm not telling you not to follow the information that he's giving you for black or for psychology and all of that. That's cool. Because it doesn't make it wrong because he's saying something that's correct. But when you're not taking care of your kids and you're making excuses for not taking care of your kids. Now I don't profess to know the ins and outs of what happened in his relationship with his kids and his baby mamas, but I can look at the picture and say, okay, that's not something I would like to follow, right? Like put him against and I'm gonna use a side by side. Put him against Leonard Honor, right? Leonard Honor has a family, 5 kids who he's taking care of, a wife, right? A home, a job, a career, right? Things of that nature versus somebody who's hop skipping around the country, knocking down anything he could find, but saying cute things in the meantime, taking people's money, not taking care of his kids and scandals. Come on
Mhm.
now, which one represents the best picture of what you would like your son to be? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's what we got to look at.
Well, in that scenario, it actually is neither one because
I
you
know I'm not saying that.
conveniently left out the information about how he's still trying to profit off of taking down and attacking another man. So my sons can have all that other stuff, but if their character is built on some animosity that they have, then I'm like, well, I didn't do a good job. Me and my husband did not do a good job because you don't, and isn't that sinful? I can't think of the word, but that's sinful in the Christian world. You're building your life off of it's not necessarily hate, but all this animosity that's building up, and he's still in the end going to profit off of Umar Johnson. It doesn't matter. None of that
Even if
matters.
he
In
does,
the end, that money is going to come from attacking Umar Johnson
but you keep saying attacking. What makes it attacking?
because whatever his mama being on Section 8, the fact that he is homeless, the fact that
How
because
is that attacking?
I'm just gonna say that it's facts, right? Let's just say that it is. His mama
Right. So
is in
how's that attacking?
Section 8. He hiding that from the government. He didn't in the past and still ain't taking care of his kids. Um, Made me forget where I was going. Oh, he homeless. He homeless and he knocking down this chick and that chick.
Right.
Still ain't got nothing to do with us understanding that it lend an honor because that's what makes it a personal attack. If you are just trying to hold him accountable for the fact that he has been taking your money and yet has not produced this school, what does his mama have to do with that? What does him
But
being
that's your
homeless
assumption.
have to
That
do with that?
that's your assumption with limited knowledge. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Instead of you understanding the full context of the why, you relegated it to this little piece that you think that Lennon Honor is trying to prove about the school, and that's not his mission. If you get the holistic view of his mission, you'll understand the
Mm-hmm.
context of why he introduced that information. That's what I'm saying. So when we contextualize the entirety of the conversation, we can have a better holistic understanding instead of minimizing it to what we want to. You're minimizing it. But if you look at the whole thing, and that's why I said you already made up your mind that you don't want to know the rest of the information because you said I'm not watching the rest of the videos because you think they're all about his mama. or attacking Umar. But if you
Mm-hmm.
look at the holistic view and get a holistic, now if you did the complete research and then said, you know what, I've done all the research, and all he does, in my opinion, is for no reason attack his mama and talk about Section 8. That would make sense, right? Because now you have a whole picture. But to take a small snippet, a very small snippet, and come to a conclusion, to me is not it's not the best way, because I don't want to, you know, it's just
Say
then
it.
to me to no, because I don't. So for me, it's like you're saying he's profiting off of Umar. Well, to me, that's no different than like a Stephen A. Smith that critiques athletes all day, every day, and profits off of them. He just got $100 and something million for sitting in front of a camera talking about other people.
That is
We
not
live
the same. A
in a
journalist
society.
is not the same.
It's
Or whatever,
journalism.
whatever
It is because
commentator, whatever he got.
because it's because it's journalism, and that's what I'm saying. And so, see, me, I've watched way more videos of him than you have, so I have a more broad view of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm able to speak to it from this perspective, and I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you, Davida, because that's what I. Oh, you talking to me? You talking to me? What's the difference? Or you talking to Naylor? Because
She got to be asking you.
I'm still trying to find out from you too. I understand what you're telling me, and I don't
Okay,
think that I have to watch 400 videos.
you
You
don't.
already told me that
No,
apparently he tried to do it the right way, and Umar was acting flippant and personally
no,
attacked him. I
no, and
wanted.
that's what I'm
When was
saying.
the last time he did that?
So the context. So what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be a tit for tat. What I'm saying is once you've already because you can't tell nobody how to react to something, right? Like
Right.
if you disrespect me one time and I come at you 100, you can't be mad and be like, well, oh, we only did it once. Okay, that was
Sound
enough for
like I'm
me.
there.
That's enough for me. You can't tell me when to stop now. You shouldn't have did it to one. So that's what I'm saying. So in that's what I'm saying. Like we use words, I think incorrectly sometimes, right? Sometimes it's based on emotion, sometimes it's based, but what we have to get in the habit of doing is basing our opinions on facts. And so to get the facts, we have to open ourselves up to gathering information gathering, right? And so once we gather the information, then we can come to some type of conclusion into like because we only know what we know until we know something else, right? So like if we stop at 1.5 videos, like I was telling you, you haven't gathered enough information to draw an educated opinion. You have an opinion, but it's not an educated opinion. And so that's what I'm saying. So like if you were to go to and I'm not saying you got to watch all because I haven't watched all 400 of Lennon Honors videos, but I watched enough to see that the why he's doing what he's doing, understanding the context and why he introduces the information that he introduces, and the holistic view of it. Do I sometimes look at it like, dang, bro, like you kind of, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do a marathon about Umar Johnson, but he's a different man than I am. I can't judge
Right.
him for that. And Umar goes, if, whether you know it or not, like I said, Umar makes 5 million videos. That's why Lennon Honor is able to make as many videos because he only makes them when Umar makes them.
So you're
So
you're
he's
telling
critiquing the
me that
videos.
Umar is right now making videos about Lennon Honor.
No, not you.
No, Lennon Honor. You're saying that Umar is making videos about
No,
Lennon
no, no, no,
Honor.
no, no. I'm saying Umar makes videos, his videos, period. Like he's just, whatever he's talking about, especially when he's talking about the school, because usually Umar is going in front of them schools, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or I keep saying school, buildings, the buildings, right? That not one kid has been educated in, right? He keeps going in front of the buildings to give the illusion of progress. And
Mm-hmm.
because I've said the same thing, because what he does, he uses that as an illusion of progress to get people to donate. Because what's the first thing he says when he goes in front of them buildings?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see what I'm
And
saying?
we
So that's
almost
the
done. Mm-hmm.
you've been almost done for how long? See what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So like if you don't have that information, because most people aren't gonna go seek that information about Umar. Like I wasn't before I actually went to the buildings. So all Lennon is doing is introducing that info. He's providing a documented registry. Because what people do, you know, what people often do, they forget that things are recorded. So they'll lie. Like Umar, he'll lie. But if we have a registry of information You can't lie because we can go back to that and say, oh, wait a minute. No, because on this time, this is when you said X, Y, Z, because that's what he does. So it's holding
Yeah.
him accountable. That's what he does. So I like a lot of people, I appreciate the the videos because it keeps a timeline on what's being said. Because you can always
Mhm.
go back to it and be like, well, no, because on this date, you said this was going to be done on this date. You said this was going to be, and you can go back and see it. That's accountability to me.
It
Regardless,
it is right. Like by the definition, it is. And when you say that in the end, he is putting together a documentary, all of that
mhm.
makes sense. I am still saying okay. I will remove the word. I don't know if I want to remove it, but okay. You convinced me. I won't call it a personal attack. Okay, he is holding him accountable. I am going to use the word obsessed, and at the same
I can see
time,
that.
he is losing. To me, it would appear like he is also losing focus, because just like you said, some people you can say a lot of things in your message, and just because it sounds pretty, holding Umar accountable is one thing, but to keep dropping a video like however often it is, to continuously keep doing that, when in the end you're going to produce a massive documentary, that I think that's just taking down another brother, like period. Now,
But
the
where does
old me would not have a problem with it. And this was what I was saying is about, it's about the mindset, and where it's not just Dr. Umar. Seeds have been planted. And of course, my education and my career field helps. But there's only 3% of Black folks in the mental health career field, and he is one of them. So my mindset changed the more and more that I watched him. I don't know. I did not know anything about no Pan Africanism or Garveyites and all this stuff. Although Amir's kind of been planting the seeds, a while back. But to see the whole context, I don't care less. This nigga right here, this trick right here, and tearing people down. Like, I had to make amends with my sister because I did a thing because I got upset and put her business out there because I was hurt. Lennon Honor has been hurt. And to continuously make these things, and in the end, he's going to produce this massive documentary. I just don't think that that's right. I don't think it's right. And even if he stopped dropping them every week, if he just decided from now on, he looked frozen, or is it me that's frozen?
it's me. I'm just checking.
Okay. If he decides that in the end, I'm just gonna wait and I'm gonna hold this and produce this massive documentary in the end, I still wouldn't agree, because he's still gonna profit off of taking down somebody else. Like, still. Now, I don't know. You can correct me. I don't know if that were to be the case, and in the end he produces this documentary, right? Would that be equivalent to, now people are now starting to know, like, the truth about MLK and the truth about Malcolm X and all these other people, whereas they wanted to paint MLK as this perfect image when he has skeletons too.
Right.
I don't know.
So if anybody makes a documentary about MLK or Malcolm X, would you look at that as like a bad thing because they're profiting off of making a documentary off of them?
No, well, probably back then. But what I'm saying is, in the end today, if he did that, no, that was my question to you. My question to you was, in
I
the
don't think it's a
end,
problem.
if he dropped it, if he stopped releasing videos now and just waited until the end, would that be the same as us just now learning the truth or the skeletons of MLK and the Black Panthers and all this other stuff? Do you believe that that is what he is trying to do? Trying to make sure that in the history books, this person who y'all thought was all this and that, this is what was really going on.
Yeah, I think that it's just transparency. I think it's transparency. I think it's educational because at the end of the day, you have to draw your own conclusion. So that's why I don't agree with the idea of taking down a brother. Like that to me is a irrational notion because he's presenting the information and you can take with it what you want because it's not all negative. Some of it's however you want to carry it, but it's the truth about what's presented. He's not making up lies. He's giving you the information. I could see if he's making up lies, that would be one thing, but where the subject of the thing has to take the accountability and the responsibility of taking themselves down because they've done it to themselves, right? Because if Umar wasn't presenting himself in such a light, then nobody could take him down, so to speak, unless they just made stuff up. He takes himself down every single day.
Tell me how he presents himself in such a light, though.
So that's what I'm saying. So if you look at his videos, more than just the ones that you like, right? You'll notice a man who berates other people, right? He talks bad about other brothers to take them down all the time. He talks bad about LeBron, all celebrities. I don't know why he decides to do that. He does that. Even on his videos that he goes on Instagram and he's berating people left and right, right? Trying to joke on them and calling them all this, that, and the third, right? That's crazy to me. That's and then remember we talked about King Randall, right? You said you knew who King Randall was. So I don't know. Are you familiar with him stealing money from King Randall?
With the end part, what'd you say?
Are you familiar with Umar Johnson stealing money from King Randall?
From the video that you sent me, yeah, I read that in the comments. But do I know that for myself? No.
So that's another situation. That's what I'm saying. You are taking yourself down when you do things like that. And then when King Randall, I don't know if you are familiar, if you remember, I don't know if it showed the last screenshot when King Randall politely asked him for if they were going to get their refund, right? For him not showing up. Or King Randall said something, and then Umar's
it was
last
screenshotted
response,
in the comments, so I saw it.
But I don't know if I sent you. I don't know if you saw all of them because the last response that Umar gave King Randall was 2 words. N-word, please. That's becoming of a school psychologist and somebody who's for the Black community to say that. You see what I'm saying? So that's the type of stuff we're talking about. So and that happens more often than people think.
But I said, how does he paint himself in the light? That's what I want.
That's what I'm saying. He's painting himself in a bad light by doing that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you said bad light. I thought you said he presents himself in the good light and then he reverses it.
Well, I guess he kind of does because the good light would be like the stuff that you're talking about, right? The stuff that's beneficial, the stuff that helps you and motivates you to be in the mental health field, right?
I guess it's more neutral to me.
Okay,
but I've seen in the same thing. Like we'll take the Breakfast Club. He does occasionally, and I don't watch Breakfast Club regularly, but when he's on there, he will talk about school psychology things and community things. But then what I have seen is they will ask him a question. They're asking him for his opinion about other people.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about where he goes on his own.
What he does on his own stuff. Yeah. No, it's not becoming. I'm definitely not gonna say that, but I'm still saying he's still.
So you're dismissing it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not dismissing it. No, I don't know how to make that clear. I'm not dismissing it. I'm not saying it's okay. What I am saying is each individual person still has to, let's just use the word accountable. Hey, thank you for that segue. each person still needs to be accountable, like for themselves. Like he sent this message out there. He's putting this message out there.
He's a public figure
And
now.
we're gonna segue to if his message to you is take care of the community, take care of the next brother, whatever, whichever message you want to choose. I need to make my own decision to do that. What his personal life is has nothing to do with the decision that I make. Hence, what I'm saying, I was getting irritated is not just the way people drive. Well, it is, but did you think about the consequence of what there's like almost 3 accidents this morning? The consequence of what you are doing, then you're going to be mad when somebody wrecks into your car. But you're the one, you're not following the law. You're in the turn lane, but you really want to go straight. So you just jumped in, and one of them like almost hit me. You almost wrecked into my car when I'm trying to take my kids to school. So now my kids could possibly be injured. All these other people could be injured. And mind you, somebody else too. The fire truck is going into the fire station. You can see it. You can see it. We all know before the fire trucks go into the fire station, they turn on their lights, right? But if you know the area, oh, the fire station is right there. In a minute, this fire truck is going to go into the fire station. So let me kind of pull back a little bit. No, this person, this same person who I'm talking about, who was in the turn lane, jumped in front of me right as the fire truck. Then now they've made it a little bit. They turned on their lights to go pull into the fire station. They steadily edging up. Why are you even moving? You're not supposed to be. What are you doing right now? If that person were to personally attack Umar Johnson or have anything to say about Umar Johnson's life, look at the life you're living. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Who cares about what he is doing when you're doing stuff like that? Then this teenager who I saw walking down the street eating an orange, peeling it, dropping the orange peel on the ground. That has nothing to do with Umar Johnson and him being a deadbeat dad. His parents raised him and he dropping orange peels down the street. And that's why DC and other areas, that's why it looked the way it looked, because you think it's okay to walk down the street and drop orange peels. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it is. The traffic here is crazy. I've seen people speed around me. Like I'm already going fast, and people will speed around me just to be in front of me, and we still in the same. Like you just in front of me now, but we still doing the same. You didn't go no faster. You're not getting anywhere any quicker. But everybody not from Maryland around here. Everybody's a melting pot. So it's probably some people from Iowa, from Nebraska.
Y'all always get that excuse.
Yeah, everybody, we got a lot of federal jobs. Not as many as we used to have because of somebody, but
yeah, y'all get that excuse all the time. Say they outsiders. Yeah. Regardless, outsiders or they're naturally from the DMV. Your behavior, this is how you're supposed to drive. You know the rules. Everybody who has a driver's license is supposed to know the laws and the rules of the road. You're deciding not to follow them. You want to do your own thing because you got something you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you were a person who also has an opinion about anybody, that doesn't necessarily, like, this isn't only about Umar. If you have an opinion about anyone else's life, you're most likely one of these people. That's just how it ends up. The person who does the most speeding down the road, the person who's yelling at and beating their kids, these are the same people who have an opinion about how somebody else is living. That's what I'm trying to get at. I know it took me a long time to get there. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not giving him a pass. So to answer your questions too, Davida, about what do the people who point out bad character have to be accountable for, and no one else can hold anybody accountable? This is what I'm talking about. We can't hold people accountable because it's your personal life. If I don't see you on the road, I don't know that you're a regular speeder. I don't know that you regularly litter. I don't know. And like the video I shared with you and my sister, she didn't get to see it. But the girl who was imitating her mom obviously is regularly around that house, cussing, being a hood rat, doing all that. So much so that her daughter has her down to a T. So I went to go look at her video, at a different video. I was like, let me just go to her channel. She a hood rat. That's the one I sent you. Like, you a hood rat. But I guarantee you got an opinion, which you saw in that video that I sent you. She had an opinion about somebody else's life. That's all
but
I'm saying.
that's life, right? Like everybody's gonna have an opinion about something or someone. But when you become a public figure and you're regularly begging people for money, you open yourself up for something totally different. It's not the same at that point. Like somebody who, like, we all know people do stuff in their own life, right? But we don't highlight those people because those people are doing, that's your cross to bear. Like I said, if Umar wasn't begging people for money and being this like crazy with the money and all that, then nobody would. I mean, I don't want to say nobody because that's probably not true, but a lot of us would not have anything to say. Like I wouldn't say anything about him because whatever if he wants to go out there and be a deadbeat daddy, that's his. There's deadbeat daddies everywhere. I'm not going to highlight him being a deadbeat daddy. It's just that when you are holier than thou and you're preaching a message that you don't follow on your own, you open yourself up for critique, especially when you're involving money with it. Because all people like me, I happen to understand how business works. So I happen to think, okay, the model that you're building with the school, like you compared Orly and things like that, which I love her by the way, and what she's trying to do. Those people have a business model that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He does not. So I can't have a whimsical idea and then start taking money and try to compare it to somebody who has a functional idea that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If you don't have a list of things, money allocated, timelines of what completion. Hey folks, I need this much money for furniture, this much money for transportation, operating costs, things of that nature, right? We don't have a real plan. We just have an idea that sounds good and
Yeah.
is driven by emotions. So now
Mm-hmm.
you've opened yourself up to people like me for ridicule, not ridicule, but critique. Because I'm not critiquing his, I don't care what him and his daughter got going on. But when you make a parent advocate book, wait a minute, are you a solid parent yourself? No? Oh, so what you telling me for? Like, I'll take the information, cool. But let's not put you on a pedestal like you got it all together, brother. Like, no. So I think that's a lot of this. What got people going with that is because he presents himself in a certain light, right? Then his daughter comes out and she's like, he ain't been in my life. Now people are like, wait a minute, right? That's where it comes from. So it's not like they're
Mm-hmm.
just walking around saying, let's just attack Umar. No. Umar invites it to himself.
Yeah, but I think also, um, yeah, it was another full story. And I knew he had kids. Now, did I know that he was a part of their lives or not? Not until I saw him on Nick Cannon's podcast, where he said it. He said he wasn't involved. He didn't marry the mamas and all of that.
Come on, come on.
So,
That
but
that sounds
to
crazy though, right?
me, I guess it really just depends on like how you look at it when you get the information. Because like I didn't really like look at him in a light. It was like
Mm,
neutral, but I understand what you're saying. It's not like, I mean, I just take it in as a grain of salt. Like, okay, whatever, this is this, and it's just neutral. But I do hold on to the psychology stuff
yeah, and that's
because
fine.
I know that it is true. It is accurate. I worked in the school. And so just like with you met him, you talked to him, you had this conversation, you tried to engage him. So you're gonna feel, a certain way.
I still
You're
don't
gonna
feel no
be
bad way.
more passionate.
I don't feel no bad way or no super passionate way about him. I like, if you notice, like every now and then I'll throw out a joke about him, but in the school. But that's because for me, it's not. I'm not personally attached to it, like emotionally attached to it. It's just funny to me, and also kind of serious because I think people need to hold on to their money instead of spend it with people who it makes sense to spend it with to actually
Hmm.
help. You know what I mean? Like because money ain't don't grow on trees. So
Yeah, yeah.
and we always complain about money, right? We complain about how there's not money circulating in our community. So why are we wasting it on people like him? And because he's not a
Right.
one-off. So we need to understand that when we see people like him, let's put them over here. If they say something you like, cool. We don't have to hate them. We don't have to, but we understand we're not giving them any money or any energy. We'll give it to the
Yeah.
people who deserve it. Because
Yeah,
I have no
exactly. Like
emotional,
the whole.
I
No, go ahead.
yeah, I have no emotional ties to the guy. Like I don't. His personal life is his personal life. I'll highlight things that I see, like, hey, nah, wait a minute, because accountability is important. I would hope people do the same for me. Like I say, authenticity is the highest frequency, right? So, like, if I'm not living the life that I'm pushing, even like with my products and my brand, say something. Like, you can call me out. It's cool. I'll take it. I gotta take it. But that guy, man, is different. He taking money from people.
Yeah, I like you said. Yeah, just don't give him your money. Don't give him your money. Give it somewhere else. And like they're saying now about the present boycott and protest.
Yeah.
Don't spend your money at Target and Walmart, but invest it in black businesses. That some people are saying that should be the method, as opposed to just flat out saying boycott. But boycott and then do what? Go invest that money into a black business. And so you said it. You said just don't give him your money, invest it elsewhere. That's not what I'm hearing from, like, it's only like four people's videos, but I go in and I look at the comments, and people aren't saying that. They're not saying what you're saying. They're
But
the main ones that are continuing to attack. And so my sister says this to me all the time. So she thinks that I think that other people can't have their own opinion. So as a person who has a different opinion from me, do you have a response?
who me?
Yes.
A response
Or do
about
you
what?
agree
About what?
that I
People having
don't think that
opinions?
I think people can't never have their own opinion? Now let me say exactly how she said it.
Okay. Let me put my
With
glasses on.
your logic, no one can ever have an opinion of anyone or hold anyone accountable.
I had to put my glasses on so I
Oh
can
yeah.
read
Oh,
it.
let me.
Point.
Okay, so let me go back. she, she said, "With my logic,
Um.
I'm missing the point. I'm missing it."
So, so I would agree with her by the way you said what you said. Yeah, because you used the analogy about the people driving that they are doing things like cutting people off and doing this that, and the third and throwing orange pills on the ground, yet they have an opinion about somebody else. But yeah, people gonna have opinions about people all the time, and people can have opinions. It's just a matter of, again, like I said, my big thing is having a holistic view on something, like having a
Hmm.
full scale, oh, sorry, a full scale understanding, so you can have all as much information as possible before coming to a conclusion, right? Like I always say this, like if I've only had McDonald's burger and I say that's the best burger ever anywhere, but I've never had any other burger, what's my opinion based off of? A singular burger? That don't make sense.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I saw him. I saw him in more than one life. Don't do that.
No, I'm saying no. What I'm saying is like the video, like I'm talking about like Lennon, right? Because we're talking about having an opinion. He has an
Yeah.
opinion on Umar, so his videos delve deeper. And a lot of times, I will be honest, like in the beginning of his video, because he understands how YouTube works, right? So he understands that you have to have some entertainment in there. So there's some entertainment in there. There's some extra sauce in there, right? But that's to keep people engaged. Because if you just sat there and showed this PowerPoint all day with the receipts, a lot of people ain't going to tune in. It's going to be kind of boring. So he throws that in there, but then he also, the receipts that you said, why doesn't he does. He presents the taxes, the tax returns. He presents the case numbers. That's public information about Umar and his child cases. He has a video of Umar talking about his custody cases that Umar thought
About
we
what?
forgot about. His child support cases
Uh-huh.
that he thought we forgot about, right? And he's out of his own mouth, he's saying these things. He says he pays child support in bulk. You've ever heard of that before?
No, because
It don't make sense,
again,
right?
those aren't the things that get fed to me.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, and that's most of us, right? So that's why the Lennon Honors channel is important because we don't get fed those things. So that's a good repository for that type of information, whether you agree
Mm-hmm.
with it or not. That's a good repository for the receipts, as they say. So yeah, so and it helps you come to a conclusion. If you still want to support them, go ahead. Like I to this day say, if you want to give them your money, give it to them. Just don't complain that you ain't got none, or don't complain about whatever. That's where you spend your money, right? But yeah, just have a holistic view. But your sister, that's your sister, right? She got you a little bit on that one.
If you say so, if you say so, I think y'all both not hearing me, but okay.
No, no,
But
honestly, in all honesty, I hear what you're saying, and trust me, I understand your perspective because I was I was kind of in that same boat because I don't delve into people's personal lives like that. But when it comes out like that, then at that point I'm like, okay, well I got the information now. Oh, let me look a little deeper before I speak on it because I don't speak on something if I don't know what I'm talking about. To be honest with you, I don't have enough
mhm,
information.
yeah, thus I try not to do that as well. So my commentary is about the video making itself. The fact
Watch
that
it. Watch.
both of those people of the videos that I saw, both of those
Yeah.
videos are just simply it was just personal attacks. It really was.
Right. I'll do you a favor. I'm gonna see like when I have time because like I said, I don't give Umar a lot of attention a lot of time. I got stuff to do. But I'll take snippets like or little parts that you can see what I'm talking about with like Lennon's commentary so you have a better understanding because it's a lot to watch. It's a lot to sit there and watch those videos. I think sometimes his streams be like 3 hours, 4 hours. Like that's a lot for people who
Hmm.
got bills to pay. So
Yeah,
um
and all I'm saying to you is you don't ever come back to me and tell me like what you think on the psychology side. That's what I be wanting you when you saw this particular video. Like, what do you think about what he had to say about this particular thing? But I guess today you said it. How are you going to tell me about advocating for my kids if you're not even involved in your kid's life? I guess that just
right.
sums up your opinion.
Um Not really because I'll have to deal with specifics. Like it would have to be a specific topic that because I don't discount him all the way for what he
Hmm.
says because he like I said he does say some things that I agree with. He says some things I don't agree with. I just don't get married to the man. So like I don't get married to any person. I like the message. Like I'll take the message over the man or the person. But when because people will let you down every time, right? Like so like
Yep.
people put him on a pedestal and now they're let down. They're like, oh, not my Umar. Yeah, you're Umar. Yeah, you're Umar.
Umar,
Not
your
you, but
pastor,
you're
your
Umar. Your
whatever.
pastor, your hero, your whoever. Yes. So I mean, people have to learn how to stop looking for a savior or a hero and just take information and be the best that they can be with the information.
Yeah. You saying the same quotes and things that we're saying. You're
Yeah,
just looking at a different,
different
you know,
perspective,
a
different
little
lens.
divot
Yeah,
down the road, the
yeah,
same thing. Like he's not your all in all savior. You gotta do your own.
yeah. Do your own. Save yourself.
Yeah.
Um, like y'all last thing, Amir, I was listening. Amir was hitting it on the head. He said, um, if Umar never took money from people, then he wouldn't open himself up for the critiques,
Yeah.
which is 100% true. Once you start doing that, it's a wrap. And then when people try to help you, because I know
Yeah.
another guy. It's another guy in New York named Q Butter. He has a school.
That's the
Shout
one.
out to Q
Oh,
Butter. He
is
puts a
that the
spin.
one? Is that the
Q
one
Butter?
that Rod Digger is on his podcast?
No, that's Lord Jamar.
Oh, okay.
That's Lord Jamar. A brand Nubian. But Q Butter, he has a school in New York. He pushes STEM real heavy. And him and Umar had a little thing, a little clash. But Umar was attacking him.
Yeah, he
He
does have
attacks
a
people
big
all the
ego.
time.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, he do got a big ego. He needs to learn how to humble himself. He needs to know how to listen. And he might be narcissistic. That's why he's calling everybody else narcissistic. Like people know. Just like I had to share with a client recently. If somebody is asking you about, like, if somebody is on drugs, because they know the road, they know what it look like. So it ain't just because he's a psychologist, because he's probably narcissistic. But all right, I gotta get ready to log in. Thank you for finally joining me. I wish Amir was, if it was at a time where Amir was here too. So I'll just repeat that the next public YouTube profile that subscribes to my channel, I'm going to get with Rob Naylor, and you can get a warm melt, the thing called the
wax
melt, wax melt,
yeah,
or air mist.
air and body mist.
So go ahead and get out of here.
Yep. Oh, plug myself. Okay, my fault. So Rob Naylor Jr. Obviously, I mean, I don't have my uniform on, but I took my shirt off. I do the Air Force, but I am a business owner. I own and operate Relax DMV. We handcraft aromatherapy and body care products to help you relax and create your peaceful space. So that means I hand pour candles, make body moisturizers, or as Black people know it, body butters. So so anything to help create the mood that you want. If you're in a bad mood, our products will put you in a good mood or whatever mood you're looking for. Website is iwanttorelax.com. And you can find me on all my social medias at relax_DMV.
All right. And with that, thank you for joining me. Thank y'all for watching. You gonna get to work, and I'm gonna get started. Take me a quick little breather so I can get ready to do this therapy thing.
Say these off. I ain't got to read nothing right now. All right.
All right. Enjoy. It's been good.
Yeah, same. Shout out to Amir. Shout out to your sister too. You better listen to your sister.
Take care.
Have a great day.
Bye.